Welcome all, welcome all you viewers. This is the IORA season finale here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. We bring you all this glorious event with the Gen 6 Cup cars. We're here, Homestead-Miami Speedway. One champion, 100 laps. Going to be set under the stars as we get ready for qualifying. The supposed champion, if he does not mess up, is supposed to be Mason Moriarty, but with a few drivers left in the standings, they could have a all-out brawl for the championship here tonight. And as long as Mason keeps a clean race, keeps a clean bumper, he should be the champion come around the end of the 100 laps. The other championship contender being Demos out on the racetrack there is Mason Moriarty and the 6 Ford Mustang, Captain Chiropractic. Running around in turn number 1. As we get ready here for qualifying, there's Mason Moriarty on his lap, running the bottom lane as he slides up to top. Running down the backstretch. There's Demos, the supposed second championship contender here tonight. But as long as Mason Moriarty does not have an incident during the race, he should be hailed as the champion for this season. But Demos still has a shot.
Let's do this.
If things do not go Mason's way.
Oh, shit. My bad.
Oh, hey. Well, hello, Joiner. If you guys are just tuning in, we have Quantum Esports, basically CEO, David Joiner in the booth with me tonight, as Kreutz is on a baseball streak. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. Can't wait to call this fine season finale. And Thurston, Demos, Moriarty, who's going to win it?
Those are your top 2 contenders for the championship this evening, as we're starting to round out near the end of qualifying. But yeah, those are your 2 championship heads going into the final race tonight here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. It is Mason Moriarty and Daniel Marceller, the ones grueling it out for the championship. Right now, Mason Moriarty, I believe, leads the points, but he could lose it if he does not have a good night tonight.
The stream is frozen for me real quick.
So as we wait during this intermission, viewing all the glorious angles of this track here in Miami, we're going to pull up the point standings to show you how close the championship battle is between these two. Between Mason Moriarty and Daniel Marceller, the 2 heads battling it out here tonight in Homestead to see who will be the champion come the race's end of 100 laps.
It's going to be a long one.
On the track. It is going to be a long race. I haven't raced the Miami with the Gen 6, so I don't remember. I believe it's the 550 package, so I don't know if it's completely momentum-based racing, but I feel like we're going to have a pretty good race. I think it's going to be a fantastic championship finale.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to be momentum-based, but with the 120-degree track temps, you definitely going to want to take care of those tires. So momentum and tire savings definitely going to play a big hand in how this race plays out.
So with the drivers knowing that, to go easy on the first few sets of laps, to try and keep their tires nice, contained, cool, and not try and degrade as much. Tire strategy is going to come into play with the high track temperatures. That being so high, I'm assuming that they're also going to be loose entering to all the corners, entering 1 and 3. With the drivers knowing that the information that the track is going to be extremely hot and that degradation is going to be higher than they expect, they have to be ready for a different change in strategy than if it was cooler conditions at night.
All right.
As we get ready for the beginning of the race, we're getting ready to show you the point standings as I think it stands. Gonna show you the.
If I could. I can't see it.
With row number 1 taken by the 6 of Mason Moriarty over Daniel Mostella, the championship points leaders go head-to-head in row number 1. As they start to roll off the grid.
And row number 2 popping up. We got River Page taking 3rd place, and the IORA owner, Alex Anderson, taking P4.
Back into no. Into row number 3, we have the 77 Nicholas Redford, who qualified 5th with a 33.378. And then in 6th place, Gavin Austin, the number 8 machine.
All right, the youngest member in the field today. Taking row number 4 is Beaver Serrato in P7, and Clark Nance, another young gun, in P8.
Row number 5, Braxton Lightning Whitaker takes 9th over Joseph M. Armstrong, who did not set a time. He resides in 10th position.
I think that rounds out your field. It's a pretty small field for the finale, I'd say.
Well, I'm sure a lot of the people are with the New Hampshire and East Coast swing being underway. As the pace truck comes in, a lot of the people were at the IRL races this week. As we're about to go green, the Geico restart zone and green flag in the air. We're waiting again as we go down the front straightaway.
How about side going to turn 1?
Entering turn number 1. Mason Moriarty inside. Oh, can he keep it though? With the conditions being as hot as they are, they've already pulled a gap to the rest of the field. Now Mason Moriarty sides up. He's going to try and side draft Demos down the back straightaway. He does not want him to get to the lead.
Sure.
Anderson gives him a push down the back straightaway.
It looks like Demos is going to clear him. We got Maymay taking the middle lane around Anderson here. Coming to his right. Looks like Demos will lead lap 1.
Demos coming across the line to lead lap number 1 as he enters in turn number 1. Demos leads down the back straightaway. Mason Moriarty drifts up the track, drifts wide. It's going to try and hopefully catch Demos. Demos knowing how to drive the Gen 6 cars at Homestead-Miami Speedway. He's had a number of runs in NASCAR America that have gone well, but unfortunately he had an incident in the final corner and was not able to pull off with the win. But it all matters here tonight. If he can get a lead, get it to stick, and actually have luck at Homestead. As he enters in turn number 3, Mason Moriarty just filing in just behind, riding on board Daniel Mostella. There you can see that the rest of the pack just behind. Momentum Racing at its finest. Mason Moriarty is in 2nd place. The current championship points leader is letting Demos run away as it stands, but he could be saving tires. As we know, the conditions are extremely hot. 120-degree track temperatures here at Homestead. As it's not a night race, it's a day race. Lap 4 out of 100. Demos entering turn and exiting turn number 4 across the front straightaway. As Alex Anderson tries to set up a move on the 6 of Mason Moriarty, he looks to the inside.
I don't think it will stick.
It's not going to stick. He drops back in line to follow behind fellow Flopper Racing teammate. Over Page in the 00 trying to make something happen on the outside. Doesn't look like it's going to make it happen. Demos still stretching on his lead. Bit of a bobble there from Armstrong in the back of the pack. Everything stays okay. Anderson running the middle as Mason takes a long arc and goes to the bottom of the racetrack. Riding on board with Alex Anderson, the 67 machine. Brandon Dollar Designs paint scheme. Entering in turn number 1, Mason Moriarty. Looking back behind. Exiting turn number 2.
Anderson's going to have a run here on the inside. We'll see if he'll Maybe do a slide job here.
As we enter in turns 3 and 4, they're 3 wide nearly in the back of the pack. A little bit of a wiggle from all of the people.
And maybe take it back. It looks like River Page is going to try to take P3 away from May here. Maybe going to try to steal it from Anderson. Don't think he will, as the Highline will have the momentum going down the backstretch.
The high side gets the momentum. There's Mason Moriarty, drops back behind Alex Anderson. River Page now in front of the 6. So Mason either deciding to save his tires and run with everybody in the back of the pack, or is struggling on pace as he runs side by side, 3 wide down the front straightaway. In the middle is Mason Moriarty, your championship points leader. On the inside is Joe. So Mason Moriarty not having the run he wanted, but he runs that sort of high-ish lane, as there is Demos running away from the rest of the field. The other championship points contender, the other championship contender to try and fight for the title here in Homestead. As the cloud cover is starting to come out, conditions will get cooler on the racetrack. Alex Anderson is able to clear the double O of River Page. It looked like it, but now River Page will get the run down the front straightaway running the high line. So in turn number 1, there you can see Demos leading the field with a quite massive gap. There's the 00 of River Page now starting to pull away. So clearly, the rest of the field, there's Joseph M. Armstrong running to the inside, trying to let everybody by. Dropping to the back of the pack once again. So clearly this backpack is trying to save tire. The 77 gets in the wall. That's going to try and slow May down, but he gets behind the 020 of Joseph M. Armstrong. So that did slow Mason up a bit. But I think he'll be okay in the long run. This backpack might be saving their tires, as there is Anderson running what's known as the Larson line right up against the wall, leaving no inch for Bear. Heading down the back straightaway once again, Beaver Serrano now tucks in behind the 67. Fellow Toyota driver just behind Joseph M. Armstrong in the Interstate Batteries number 20 machine. They look to go 3 wide. They don't make it happen. A push down the front straightaway to Beaver Serrano by the 20 of Joseph M. Armstrong. Alex Anderson will lead the second pack. And Demos, the person leading this race. Oh, and Anderson gets in the wall. Anderson gets in the wall. They're spinning. They're crashing in the back of the pack. And Mason Moriarty is involved, and that's going to be a caution. So the first caution out tonight. Joseph M. Armstrong, heavy damage on the front bumper. The front end there completely destroyed.
Definitely going to probably use his only fast repair of the race, so he will not be looking for trouble for the rest of the race for sure, and he's still got a long way to go.
Only lap 11 out of the 100 lap race. The laps do count under caution. However, here's the incident. Alex Anderson sliding up high. Just gets a bit loose. It goes into the wall and comes back down the track. And the 77...
It looks like May took some damage to your other championship running driver.
The other championship contender, Mason Moriarty, not having the best start. Doesn't look like too much damage. You could possibly get away with it.
Possibly save that one fast repair for later in the race for maybe a big moment.
If I was him, I'd just go in to take all my optional. You can see they're running the higher side of the track. There is the 77 who sees the wreck. As Mason goes low, there's no room, and around she goes down the back straightaway. Luckily, locked her down. I will imagine that if he pits, he's going to take tires, and as I say that, yes, he does. Goes into his pit box. And yes, he's taking right sides. I believe. Demos, your race leader, will come off of pit road to win the battle off pit road. So Demos, who was your leader when the caution came out, pit took tires and is now in the lead again, because I don't believe anybody stayed out. But as I was trying to say before the caution came out, he just a couple of days ago had just hit 1,000 subs on YouTube. So everybody send your congratulations to Demos. as he's one of the most followed people that we have here in IORA. As behind the pace car, Joseph M. Armstrong, and following behind is the 9 of Clark Nance. We're going to lead you guys in as they both come into the pit lane. We're going to lead you to commercial break. This segment is brought to you by the FTN Broadcasting Association and Network. With all intents and purposes, this broadcast couldn't be here without viewers like you. Your most common presenters are Alexander Valderas and David Kreutz, with TV production being handled by Andrew Schulte. For the foreseeable future, the broadcasts that you can be sure not to miss are on the Thursdays being the OSRL Short Track Showdown, and be sure not to miss out on next week because that's the IORA season finale. Then on Saturdays, we have the IORA Indycar Series with Chase Schaffer coming off of a win. Could he pull the double next weekend? And finally, with a new presentation on Sundays, the Rush Truck League. The times for the broadcast previously mentioned will be on your screen now. Be sure to stick around for those further this week. Thus, this segment is concluded and we'll return to your regular programming.
And we are back with IORA from Homestead. About to take the green flag here, I think. Yes. And restart zone. Here we go. We got Demos and Beaver Serrano on the outside. Looks like Anderson's going back to the bottom, making it aggressive here into turn 1. Demos is on the inside. Beaver on the outside. New angle. Looks like Demos will clear him on the inside. Here comes River Page for second.
And as we go back to live, we bring you back with Homestead-Miami Speedway. Demos leads after the restart. Will be the leader. A lap off the restart, 77 in the wall again. But River Page out in second position. Demos will take the lap lead. So Demos out in front, having a dominant race as of right now. As we head down into turn number 2, there's a championship leader, Mason Moriarty. Gets him loose. He's a big wiggle there, exiting turn number 2, but he saved it. And as we go down the back straightaway, your leader, Daniel Mosteller. There goes the 77 to try and make a pass on the 6, the championship leader. Oh, he's running now, Larson. I know he gets in the wall. Gets a bit.
He got really, really tight in the center there.
Yeah, he got really, really tight, and he goes up into the wall. The bump, you can definitely feel it. You can feel it in the trucks. Lap 18 out of 100 laps to go, so about a fifth of the way through tonight's race. Riding on board with River Page and the Coolers Light Machine, the 00. There is Beaver Serrano in the 66. Timmy Hill look-alike car just behind us. And then behind him is the championship leader, Mason Moriarty, who not anymore, as it looks like there he is currently 4th.
Demos is currently running away with it.
So as it stands at the moment, Demos is leading the race with a sizable margin over River Page, Serrano, and the rest of the guys just behind. Demos, knowing how to drive the Gen 6 car around Homestead-Miami, with great runs in it on Night in America, hasn't come up on the last lap. He's had some issues, but Demos now will come across the stripe to lead again as we transition to lap 20 out of 100, officially a fifth of the way through tonight's race. The 00 of River Page just running just behind in turns number 1 and 2, trying to get back as we go down the back straightaway. But as it stands, it looks like these two have the pace advantage over the rest of the field. Now, Demos might be running it out, hoping for cautions, because if he does, if these guys are saving here in the back, that might not help him if another caution comes out, because then Demos can just keep running away with it. But it will be up to the guys behind if they want to turn on the jets and go chase after the 87, who, as it stands, if the race finishes as the running order is right now, will be a back-to-back champion. Mason Moriarty slots in behind the 66. Aviva Serrano will try and make a move. He sits behind. He goes to the right rear quarter panel, but the dirty air just gets tight.
Now he's getting loose.
Yeah, it gets tight and loose. That's really not what you want in a race car. Shades of the Ferrari 14T understeer and oversteer in the same car. It's not what you want at all. One of the worst characteristics of a race car. You are basically driving a plank that doesn't turn, and then the back end won't grip, so you have no front bite and you have no rear grip. It's one of the worst combinations to drive. But May trying to get on the right side of Beaver Serrano, rubbing pretty much along the right-hand side of the 66. Down the front straightaway we go. He'll get him over the line, but will he get the position as we enter in turn number 1? The 6 leads over the 66 as he drops back in line. Yes, he does. He gets position. He is completely clear of the 66. But your leader still for all of the laps in this race so far is the 87 of Daniel Mosteller, who's currently chasing the championship title. He won it last season. And right now, as it stands, Mason Moriarty running in 3rd position is your championship points leader. But if Demos romps away with this, he might have it in the bag. The 00 just
wins on tiebreaker.
He would win on tiebreaker. So if they did end up tying, Demos would win on the amount of wins he has over Mason Moriarty. But there is the second pack off of 2, just getting to the middle of the back straightaway. Now the 87 romps away. The River Page just under half a second behind. So he's not done fighting the 87 yet. He's going to keep putting up pressure, but as we come across the stripe to begin lap 25, a fourth of the way through tonight's race. Looks like everybody has settled down and settled into the groove of the racing. The 87 go down the back straightaway. Will lead over the 00. Mason Moriarty trying to claw back. What he had was once the pole sitter for this race, but has forfeited the lead to the 87, who is currently running away with it. You can see that Mason Moriarty is trying everything he can to get back with the 87. The 00 riding in just behind. He's going to try to get to the back bumper. Mason Moriarty is doing everything he can to catch up with these two leaders. The 00 trying different lines to get clean air on the nose to try and not get tight center of the corner. Go down the back straightaway once again. The 00 just filing in behind the 87. Turn number 3, the 00 runs the high lane, running the Larson line, getting up right close to the wall. And then following behind in the draft of the 87, comes across the line to lead at lap 26 on to 27. But the back half of the pack can do nothing with the front leader's pace at the moment. The 87 currently running away with it. There now, Joseph Armstrong takes the position over Mason Moriarty. The 20 machine has gotten past the 6. There you can see there he's in front of the 6 after complete front end damage due to a wreck on lap 11. You know, the 20 machine is now ahead of the 6, who was involved in that wreck as well. But Alex Anderson now finally in behind Mason Moriarty. Two Flava Racing teammates, and I don't think Alex Anderson has a shot at the title, so he's going to try and help his teammate to do anything he can to win. Demo still romps away with River Page and a 0-0 out in front. You can see they're riding on board with Joseph Armstrong. Looking behind us as Mason Moriarty sends it in low. Bit of an earlier arc, but it's going to get tighter and drift up wide. You can see there. We get a better exit than Mason Moriarty does. As Alex Anderson rides just behind. Down the front straightaway we go. On to lap 29.
Yeah, with that move Armstrong made, Demos now takes the lead for the championship. So looks like River Page kind of went through his tires, so it looks like Mosteller's definitely going to be running away for the rest of this tire run.
So as it stands, the man who was pushing earlier in the race before, the 87 of Daniel Mosteller, the person fighting who is on your screen now, the 6 of Mason Moriarty for the IORA Championship title for Season 2. Currently romping away with a race victory as we go on to lap 30. He's currently second in points, so right now he would not finish as the champion. He would have to at least, I believe, get second place, and even then, if they tie it, Demos wins on tiebreakers. So as it stands, it's most likely a must-win situation for Mason Moriarty, with his Flopper Racing teammate, the 67 of Alex Anderson, the league owner, just behind him. Daniel Mosteller still romping away with the race victory. So we're seeing Gavin Austin. He's currently running 10th position. The 77, after being getting in contact with the wall, is 12 seconds from the lead pack, or from the leader. Doesn't compare to the 9 of Clark Nance, who is more than 31 seconds. There you can see there at the top of your screen. He gets out of the way of the 87. And Daniel Mosteller, as it stands now, is currently leading the points. And he will end the race as champion if he finishes in first position. The lap car, Clark Nance, just behind. Demos is romping away with the race lead. And as it stands right now, the race victory, with no one in front of him to stop him. No wrecks out on track. So nothing as to report at the minute. Alex Anderson, he scrapes the wall, but has gotten in front of the 6 of Mason Moriarty. With the Beaver Serrano now coming into tow. But would you look at this? The 20 of Joseph M. Armstrong has caught the 0-0 of River Page. The River Page, obviously, more than 2.5 seconds off from the leader, Daniel. Currently 0 laps led for the 020 machine, but is looking to the inside of the 0-0. Sends it in way low, paints the white line. And as they come out of turn number 4, the 20 will get the position on the 0-0. But now Joe will have to fight with the 9 of Clark Nance. Lapped car in front. Where does he go? The 9 goes up high. The 020 just on the inside. And he just barely clears the lap car going down the back straightaway. I have a feeling that Joe might be able to catch Demos. If he keeps going like this, he most certainly will.
Yeah, he definitely loves his track conditions. He's one of those few drivers that enjoy the hot track temps. We're 120-degree track temps. Very hot, very slick, very bad on your tires for sure. All these drivers out here definitely searching for grip.
Searching for grip, searching for tire. As these drivers try and conserve their tires until the next caution or the next pit stop cycle comes out. Joseph Armstrong is trying to catch a leader, Daniel Mosteller. As you can see that the gap is starting to close a bit. So he is catching him. So it all depends on if Demos has saved enough tire to try and defend from what Armstrong is trying to do. You can see they're going down 10th by the lap. He's run lap 36 of 100 here in Miami. Currently, the championship leader as it stands is Daniel Mosteller, leads over the 6 of Mason Moriarty, the other championship contender who is out of the top 3. You can see there he is in 5th position, just running ahead of Beaver Serrano. So not a night to remember as it looks for the 6 of Mason Moriarty. That can all change on the late race caution. There he is following just behind his Floppa Racing teammate, the 67 of Alex Anderson. And just as it stands there, Beaver Serrano just behind him, as that's the lap car of Clark Nance on the high side. Number 9 Napa Auto Parts Machine entering turn number 3. Stays to the high side of the banking, letting the lead lap cars pass. If the caution comes out, he's able to get his laps back completely free under caution or get his black flags cleared. So Clark Nance, who might not be on the pace, is not going to finish a lap down as long as a caution comes out. Currently fighting with the 66 of Beaver Serrano, gives up the position. We're now filing just behind. As Alex Anderson goes slow, he must have gotten loose off the corner. So Alex Anderson off of turn number 2. Looked to have gotten loose, he gets tight and he goes into the wall. Yeah, he got really tight center and he goes up into the wall, now struggling with a loose race car. So Mason Moriarty has a chance to pounce on his teammate. If Anderson keeps making these mistakes, Mason will be up to his bumper in no time. As you can see there, the 6 takes the middle with that clean air and arcs it down low. Anderson pushes up the track. You can see there, he's loose. What a save down the back straightaway. That was impressive from the 67. Now he slots in behind the 6. The 66 now trying to pass the 67. Alex Anderson.
The 67 going to want to caution soon. He's going to want to put new tires on that thing and get to the front.
Lap 40 of 100, almost halfway through tonight's event. As Anderson gets right to the back of Beaver. He's able to hold out his lead.
Oh, he gets loose.
Over and he gets loose, and he just barely saved it. Beaver, I think, just made contact with the wall exiting turn number 2. And both of these drivers are on pace to finish top 10 and top 5 in points. So it's Beaver Serrano, an excellent run of form. The 66 car. Timmy Hill inspired machine. And as we go on to the back straightaway with no action being on the track right now, we can give you a rundown of the field. There's your leader, the 87 Daniel Mostello, who currently leads the points as he's in the lead right now. If he were to finish like this, he would be IORA Season 2 champion over the 6 of Mason Moriarty, who's running in the 4th position right now. All 41 of 42 laps so far have been led by Demos.
And a rumor going around is that if he wins this championship, he may retire for IORA competition. So be on the lookout.
So the 87 with a drive to win. There's the 020 machine of Joseph M. Armstrong running second. No laps led tonight, but he's hoping to make that change as he tries to go on the hunt. You can see there a considerable drop, almost a second now, that he's gained on the 87.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely one of the fastest cars on track. Loves this hot track condition. Can't wait to see in the next few laps to see if he'll be able to catch the 87 and take the lead and the win away.
There's a 00 of River Page, who's also led 0 laps today. As we go down the back straightaway, he leads over the 6 of Mason Moriarty, who was the championship points leader. But as it stands right now, will be second place to the 87 out in front, Daniel Mosteller.
Yeah, for sure. The 00 for River Page. Definitely a surprising run for me. Definitely did not see him in the top 3, but can't wait to see if he's going to return for season 3. Can't wait to see what his drive would be.
So change in form for the 00, riding with the 6 of Mason Moriarty, the points leader, entering this race. But as he stands right now, will finish second in points to previous season's champion, Daniel Mosteller.
definitely kind of feel for Moriarty, just struggling with to get grip in that car right now. And once the sun starts going down, maybe there'll be a little bit more grip in the track as he can try to catch the leader. But moving on.
There's a 66 of Beaver Serrano, currently running 5th, and at this pace would be top 5 in points. So an excellent run of form for the 66 team in Beaver Serrano.
That's definitely a good run for Beaver. Can't wait to see if he may want to try to get more positions. See if he can take some points off for the other position, maybe for 4th on points.
Right, you are. So the rundown of the top 5. We go back to Demos, who has led all of the laps driven tonight. As we go on to start lap 47. As we come across the stripe, Demos now almost leading more than half of the laps this race. If Demos somehow manages to lead into lap 52, he will have led all the laps in this race, and unless a green-white checkered comes out where he loses the lead to all of the laps plus the green-white checkered, he could not be surpassed in the amount of laps led, and he will finish the race with the most laps led. But as it stands right now, as he comes out of turn number 4, going down the front straightaway once again, he'll go to lap 48. So with 4 laps to go until he can't be surpassed with the most laps led, Joseph M. Armstrong is now cutting in by more than half a tenth a lap. So Demos now having to try and push his car. Did he save enough tire to ward off the 020 machine to try and keep him behind as Daniel Mosteller enters in 3 and 4? There you can see there Joe running just behind, trying to get the lead away. He's going to try and catch the 87 out in front. You can see Daniel Mosteller getting a better exit out of 4. But a top 5 run for Beaver Serrano is very good for him and the 66 team. Daniel Mosteller leads over Joseph M. Armstrong, Ripper Page, and Mason Moriarty. Mason
Gavin Austin's out of this race.
So Gavin Austin, who we believe to be out of the race, has not left pit lane. There's Braxton Whitaker, the 51 FR Graphics machine.
Oh, yellow flag.
As a caution comes out.
As we reach the halfway point, a yellow flag comes out. Definitely going to be huge.
This can completely change the race on its head. As here's the caution. Anderson gets loose, and he saved it. Or did he? Yes, he did. So, unaware of why the caution came out here at Homestead. But as we follow along with the 67, Demos will most certainly lead. Will most certainly lead the most laps this race.
No. I can join RBC and see what the caution was for. You want me to?
Yeah. So as we're getting information to why the yellow had come out, the pace truck is back out on track. People can go get their laps back on the high side, as you see Braxton doing right in front of you. With over halfway of this race completed, the 87 leads over the 020.
Alright, just got word that Alex Anderson self-spun while spinning. So, while singing, I mean, not spinning.
So as they all dive down pit road, the number 9 of Clark Nance goes around the pace car. The 87 machine will stop in the second placed box. And it all depends on who can have a faster stop. Tire strategy is now starting to come into play. Does the 6 only take 2 tires and a splash of fuel? Pit lane cam.
Even then, I think they'll still have to make one more stop before the end of the race.
For tires for the excessive wear, Demos to lead off the bat on pit road, just barely. River Page not getting a good start. Mason Moriarty will be behind Beaver Serrano, so Beaver staying out in front and getting the jump over Mason.
I believe maybe he's trying to get some damage fixed. Probably hit the wall, got a crinkle in the right rear, maybe.
So he stayed in pit road to get his damage repaired. Mason Moriarty will fall back near to the end of the field, as Demos, who's led every lap of this race so far, will stay at the front. And he will not budge as he catches the pace truck, who's currently in turn number 4. Entering the front stretch. The rest of the field is slowly catching up with the pace truck. Pace car lights are still on, meaning that we are not 1 to go just yet. We're most likely pacing or 2 laps to go.
Should we
until we go green once
do an
again.
interview?
I believe we should. I can get him right here. Oh, guess not. Mason Moriarty, you joined us here in the IORA broadcasting booth. With Demos currently in front, who leads the championship point standings, you would have to be back to the front of the pack. Do you think you can do it tonight? With over half the lap here. Go ahead.
So right now he is 1 point. I'm 1 point ahead of him because he has led a lap, and he's led the most laps, and no one's going to lead more. So, basically, I need Joe to do his magic and win, and then me finish. I don't know where I need to finish on Demos. I also need to lead a lap. I need to lead a lap, and I need Joe to win, and then I can maybe finish within 1 spot of Demos and win. So my only hope is Joe. I'm relying all my faith on Joe, so hopefully he does good with it.
So with relying all your faith on one driver who is currently filing behind Demos, who was faster on that run, he was catching the 87 on, I believe he saved tires.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm not very good at 550. My hope is Joe wins, and there's a green-white checker that I can gain a bunch of spots on the short run, because that's the only time I'm good.
So thank you for your time, Mason Moriarty, and for all the viewers out there. Currently, the one to lead and to win the championship will have to pray for a miracle here in Homestead. We'll move you back in there. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
That was the voice of Mason Moriarty driving the 6 Kempton Excavating and Kempton Kutztown Chiropractic. Number 6 Ford Mustang. In the same lane as Demos. I don't know if that has anything to do with an advantage. River Page and a fellow Ford Mustang just out in front. The 020 of Joe. Mason is relying on to win the race for himself to take away those points from Demos. And May will have to lead at least 1 lap as the pace car comes in. To the Geico restart zone, we go once again for the second restart of tonight. We're about to go green, and the green flag is waving across the line. Demos leads over the line, but now the 020 is just on his outside.
Definitely going to have the high lane advantage here going out of 2.
So the 20 will try and pin the 87 down to the line, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Joe and May having an amazing restart, jumping all the way up to 4th. If he gets in behind River Page and he can stay behind him, with a fantastic run of form, Demos comes across the line to lead the stripe after the restart. Mason Moriarty trying to get 3rd position over River Page in the 00. Looks like he is going to clear him exiting turn number 3. So after a pit stop, Mason Moriarty, having an excellent run of form, will now try and push Joe down the back straightaway. Demos trying to break the draft. May giving all the help he can to his teammate, the 020 machine, trying to get it done. Demos will come across the line to lead a lap again. But as it stands, Mason Moriarty needs to lead a lap over Demos. So if another caution comes out, May can't get in front. just barely try and lead over the restart and get that extra point. Because it doesn't matter if it's by 2 laps or by a bumper. If your car is over the line before the second place machine, you get the credit for leading that lap. Doesn't matter if the person who was originally in front of you had led the entire lap up till 100 feet from the line. If you cross that line before they do, you have led the lap. So it all comes down to this, with the race winding down as we come to the end, nearing the end of the IORA season finale and the end of the season. Mason Moriarty and Daniel Mosteller, the top 2 in points, running right by each other. The 87 having the advantage, but it looks like Mason Moriarty,
Trying to get a
good
little
speed, he's getting loose. He kept it all the way through that corner. The dirt experience clearly showing and clearly shining through as we go on to lap 59 out of 100. So nearing the end of this race tonight, Daniel Mosteller still leads over the 6, and Mason Moriarty is trying to do everything he can to win the championship, as he doesn't want Demos to be a 2-time champion back-to-back, the first person ever to do that in IORA. So far, Demos has won both the Pro 4 Series, who was concluded earlier this year, and he won Season 1 of IORA with the Next-Gen Cup cars, the current cars racing this season. These are the 2021 cars that you're seeing on your screen right now. As we exit turn number 2. Oh, he gets loose, but he gets right up to the wall. The May being a dirt guy knows how to sling it around the top. So he is no big stranger to the outside wall at most tracks. Running the wing sprint cars, you get right up close to the wall on the cushion if you have to. But May trying everything he can, getting desperate here with under 40 laps to go. Over a majority of the race completed, Daniel Mosteller has led the most laps, and nobody will probably lead any more than he has led currently. So the 6 of Mason Moriarty trying to get it done will start to become desperate, and will try to do everything he can to get an advantage on the 87 and pass him. And if he can keep that advantage to the end of the race, he will be the championship leader, and he will be the championship winner by the end of the race. As there you can see the 6 now starting to drop back just a little bit from the 87 of Daniel Mosteller. But Joe now holding up the pack behind. He's incredibly saving his tires, and May and Demos are going all at it. The 020 machine just behind, laying back and saving his tires for the long run. So Mason Moriarty comes off of turn number 4, trying to get ever closer.
Lap car of Clark Nance, maybe getting it away.
Yeah,
but he's giving him a lane.
Clark will give the bottom lane to the championship leader as it stands, Daniel Mosteller. As we go down the back straightaway. It would be wonderful to see.
We'll go with the IORA, crank it up here.
And as we're back from the Crank It Up, Daniel Mosteller still leads over the 6 and Mason Moriarty. The comfortable lead down the back straightaway. Lap 67 out of 100. Winding down to the last 30 laps of this race. As Meme will try and put a pause on the Demos winning this championship.
We're just 2/3 into this race now. Demos now got a big lead in that long run, which Moriarty does not want to see. Quick technical difficulties on our TV broadcasting person.
So as we get the tickers trying to get working once again, the 87 of Daniel Mosteller leads over the 6 of Mason Moriarty with a sizable gap coming within the last 30 laps of the race. Joe has now passed the 6 of Mason Moriarty and is now Mason has left in the hands of fate of the 020 machine, who had been saving tires for a long time, to now go and hunt down the 87 to try and win effectively Meme the title. Because if Joe is able to pass Demos, he doesn't get the extra couple of points for winning the race. And if Meme leads a lap, he will get Demos by a shy couple of points. And it won't matter if Demos has more wins on the season. It'll only matter that Meme has had more points this season overall. Come the end of the race, the 87 going down the back straightaway once again. The 020 machine just getting a slightly worse exit than the 87. It's probably having...
Yes, the 87 definitely leading this race. It looks like the 20 kind of at a standstill, maybe longer this run. He'll be able to catch the 87 here. Free reign for the 87. Demos. Moriarty back in third. Now gets passed by River Page. Moriarty still your points leader at the moment. But I
think Throttle ditched us, so I shall stay here for the moment.
Well, as it stands...
Throttle jump scare!
The 87 of Daniel Mosteller leading over the rest of the field. Going across the stripe to lead lap 73. Has led all of the 72 laps completed. Nobody else has led a lap other than Demos this race. So, at the moment, Demos has it wrapped up in his hands, away from the rest of the field. The 87 leading over the rest of the field. But now Mason Moriarty has left his championship, as of right now, within the hands of Joe. The 020 of Armstrong just behind, who is starting to close in a few tenths a lap on Demos, to where the 020 machine would have to catch up to Demos, pass him, and win the race. I believe Meme, if Demos finishes second, will have to lead a lap to get the bonus point to try and get out in front of the 87. Now, if a caution comes out and the 20 is able to get to the back bumper of the 87, Meme could stay out for the lap led. He'd have to gun it around the racetrack, but it is possible. Lap 75 of 100. 3/4 of the way done with this race. Coming into a close the last 25 laps. The 87 goes down the back straightaway. The 020 just behind, trying to get it done here in Miami. Will he be able, as he's almost 2 tenths faster than Demos is right now. Demos, who had burnt up his stuff, is now within the hands of the O20 machine of Joe Armstrong, who was hoping to break the second barrier and get closer to the back of the 87. You can see there at the top of your screen the gaps. 1.25 entering turn number 3. The O20 just starting to try and pick the pace up to go and essentially win the championship for Mason Moriarty. As it stands, the 6 behind the 00 over for Page, riding just behind. He has sent his championship hopes within the hands of the O20 machine. Oh, Meme gets into the wall. He saves it, going down the back straightaway. So, Meme Moriarty just slightly tapping the wall, letting the 00 now try and romp away. But as we see the gap starting to close, we can see that the O20 machine is starting to catch Demos at a rapid rate. Who has almost gone down below the second, is into the 10th. As you can see, they're gaining lap by lap. He should have Demos by the start of lap 88. If he's gaining about a 10th a lap. Looks like Meme running a bit slower now because of the damage he got when he made contact with the wall, when he got tight. There he is running the high side. There you can see that the 66 of Beaver. There is Alex Anderson riding just behind, trying to catch the 66 machine, trying to get it done and get past the 66 Timmy Hill inspired car. The 87 leads over the O20 and the 00. Going to lap 80 here very shortly. Would then be 20 laps left of the race. The 67 trying to follow behind the 66 machine. This gets right up close to the wall. Lap 80 out of 100 as they cross the stripe. Demos still leads over Armstrong, but Armstrong now almost to the 8/10 margin and is trying to catch down the 87. And at this rate, by lap 85, I'm predicting the O20 will have the 87 in his hands. And it's all up from there to whether if a late race caution comes out to try and stop the 87 of Daniel Mosteller from winning this season's championship. 20 laps to go. As we'd like to show you more of the racing, we have a few announcements to show you first. This segment is brought to you by the FTN Broadcasting Association and Network. With all intents and purposes, this broadcast couldn't be here without viewers like you. Your most common presenters are Alexander Valderas and David Kreutz, with TV production being handled by Andrew Schulte. For the foreseeable future, the broadcast that you can be sure not to miss, on the Thursdays being the OSRL Short Track Showdown, and be sure not to miss out on next week because that's the IORA season finale. Then on Saturdays, we have the IORA Indycar Series with Chase Schaffer coming off of a win. Could he pull the double next weekend? And finally, with a new presentation on Sundays, the Rush Truck League. The times for the broadcast previously mentioned will be on your screen now. Be sure to stick around for those further this week. Thus, this segment is concluded and we will return to your regular program. There's a return to the racing product out on the track. The 66 running the low lane. Major gap increase, or I should say decrease, as the O20 machine has caught within the range of the 87 of Demos, running to turn number 3, catching the 87 by tenths a lap. Demos has finally used up his stuff, and now you can see there he gets a better exit. He's going to try and get the draft all the way down. Now that he's in that crucial 6/10 margin, Joe will get the draft down the front and back straightaway. If you can begin to stay within this amount of gap, there you can see the 20 running the high side. A bit of a wiggle for Demos. You can see that the gap closing. Gap closing and closing and closing. Now Joe is as close as he's ever been to try and stop Demos from winning the race. Joe getting a better run through the corner. You can see another wiggle from Demos as he exits. The draft is purely down the back straightaway. Joe getting right behind the 87, switches to the high lane to get that clean air. That'll sacrifice his entry for a better exit, as Demos will have to slide up the track and dump the dirty air, but that gives him the draft. He's not clear. He's going to stick it on the outside. No! Joe shoots to the inside. Running to the inside of 3, side by side for the lead. The 020 has finally...
he's going to clear him?
Yes, he does. The 020 machine now leads in front of Daniel Mosteller, who I think just got on the wall, but now Demos is going to try and send it back. But with no tires remaining on the 87 machine, there's no way he can hold up the fight. There he sees Joe as he gets loose, trying to hold on to it. Slide job, will it work? No, it's not. He gets in front,
crossover.
But Joe, with a crossover down the back straightaway, will get to the inside once again. Will hopefully try and pull away from Demos. As this is Maymay's championship, we're seeing live right in front of us. As we come across the line, beginning 13 laps to go. If this stands, as Demos tries to go to the outside lane, a lap car there, he'll get dirty air. He's going to get tight. There's the lead. The 20 car is starting to pull a gap out in front of the 87. Joe riding in the slipstream of the 77. This is not helping either car, but they both go to the bottom lane. The 20 machine just in front of the 87. The 77 will drop back in line. But now Demos, who's sitting right behind Joe, coming across the line to begin 12 laps to go. Joe runs the high lane, runs right up close to the wall. He's going to try and get the advantage over Demos as they head down out of turn number 2. Demos with a wiggle from the rear end lets the lead concede to the 20 of Joseph M. Armstrong, who goes out in front once again in Miami and will come across the line as he exits turn number 4. As Demos, big wiggle there. So as it stands, I don't think Maymay is champion, as we're coming to 11 laps to go. The 87, rolling behind the 20 of Joseph M. Armstrong, has done what Maymay asked. He's done his magic. And if Maymay can get in front of River Page, I think he might have it. And if he stays out on a caution call, he could lead the lap, jump into pit road, and get tires and fuel as Demos gets right up close to the wall, getting tight, exiting now. As Demos tries to shoot it down to the inside for a slide job. You can see there he gets a way better entry than Joe, but he's going to get tight center, start to roll up the track, and that's where you can see Joe has a major advantage on exit running the high line. He gets just such a better exit than the car down low. Coming within single-digit laps. With a few more laps to decide the championship, Joe leads over the 87 of Daniel Mosteller. And if Mason Moriarty can do anything to stop Demos' hunt for the championship, he's going to have to get in front of River Page and hope for the best. And hope for a late race caution. Because if that comes out, that changes the outcome of everything. Joe will still have to win no matter what, but if Maymay can finish ahead of Demos or within one spot of Demos, and Joe wins the race, Maymay is your Season 2 IORA champion. But as it stands right now, none of that is happening except for the miracle Mason Moriarty wished for earlier in the race. for Joe to do his magic and get to the lead once again. The 87 tries to go to the high side. He's able to keep it there, but Joe has that immense tire grip down low as well. As they exit turn number 2, the battle for the lead, as the 20 car still leads over the 87. Daniel Mosteller entering into turns number 3 and 4. As they exit turn number 4, once again coming across the line to begin lap 7. 7 laps to go to decide the end of what has been a beautiful season of Gen 6 racing. It'll have to be one of these guys. It's either Daniel Mosteller or Mason Moriarty, the 2 lead championship drivers fighting it out for the Season 2 championship. Sitting behind the O20 machine is Daniel Mosteller. And Meme will have to pull a trick out of the bag as Demos gets loose, bit of a wiggle there in the middle of the corner. Meme will have to pull out a hat trick style magic trick to try and see if he can get anywhere close to the 87. As you can see there, Joe running the bottom lane now has switched up his lanes. Demos now running the top to see if he can pull away on a good exit. Down the back straightaway we go. The O20, as it's getting very tense here in Miami, is coming
back.
Demos is trying to make a comeback with 5 laps to go at the cross of the stripe. Joe will lead over the 87 Daniel Mosteller as we come across the line to begin the final 5 laps of this race. And as it stands, no caution to come out. But if we're one to come out, it would have to be before the white flag is taken by the leader. If not, the race is official. And the finish of the white flag lap will be the finishing order of the race. As they exit turn number 4, Joe still leading over Meme with 4 laps to go. Getting tighter and tighter as we come into the final stages. Demo sending it in on the 20. If he gets that lead back, he's sure to win the championship, but Joe cannot let the 87 by as he goes up. Oh, and they hit the bump. Both of them do on exit, but now Demos is trying to strike back. He's gotten in closer, but the gap is still there. Outstretched by the 20. Who has led the last few laps over Demos. So finally, someone else leading the laps today in this race other than Demos, who got smoke up ahead. The leaders avoid a parked car on the front stretch. No caution just yet.
We're going to let them race.
Let them race. We keep it green. With this tight of a battle, I don't think we should see a replay of that incident. But Demos now trying to strike back. If he wins, he just wins the championship outright. But he's going to have to hope Meme goes down another position. If he wants a solid championship hunt, in second place, a car smoking down the front straightaway. 2 laps to the good. Demos goes to the inside of the O20 machine, entering turn number 1 and 2. Demos trying everything he can to get out in front. Desperation starts to creep in. As Beaver exiting pit lane. Entering in turn number 3. If they make it to the flag, the race is official. Exiting turn number 4. They have a chance to get to the white flag. And they will. The race is official. Whatever happens at the end of this lap will be the outcome to the IORA Season 2 championship.
No, he's going to use a high line.
Demos trying to copy Joe's line, but keep his front bumper clear of any of the dirty air that he might experience being behind the 20 machine. Meme will have to wish for a miracle if he wants to win the championship.
Oh, he can't get there.
Demos gets tight in the middle of the corner. The person who led all the laps in this race flounders at the end. Joseph M. Armstrong comes across the stripe to get his second win of the season. Demos is celebrating, but I don't know if he's officially won the title yet or not.
What Meme wanted to see is Joe win. Let's see if he was able to keep the championship.
with River Page running third. I don't think May is in that crucial gap, but all that needs to know from the end of this race that the 020 of Joseph M. Armstrong, after a charge after the third restart of tonight, Joseph M. Armstrong is your race winner. We'll go to the infield and try and burn it down. But as we get your information on who is the title winner, Joe burns it down on the front straightaway. With Demo celebrating, I have to have an inkling that it might be him, although I don't see him anywhere. So I'm not sure. But the 20 going back to victory lane in the final race at Homestead-Miami Speedway. A beautiful run to the end of that race. The 020 comes across the stripe to win the race. He's burning it down out in front. As no word on yet who has won the championship, the battle is as close as ever. The 020 sends a victory lap back around the track. As he comes into pit road, he's going to go burn it down in front of his pit box, going backwards down pit road. Enters in his pit stall backwards. There is Daniel Mosteller parked at the pit entry. No word as of yet to who won the championship. No information being given.
I think, if my math is correct, Demos gets it by 1 point.
So, as tight of a finish as that was, if our math is correct, Demos should be your Season 2 IORA champion. But it all depends on the official verdict. And right now, the unofficial results at the top of your screen lead to say that the 87 of Daniel Mosteller is the leader and is a championship winner. As there you can see Demos burning it down. And I have no other right to say, but Daniel Mosteller is your Season 2 champion. And with as close of a battle, we couldn't make the call on the line, but we make it call post-race. Daniel Mosteller, back-to-back championships in the IORA Cup Series, burns it down. He didn't get the win, but he won what matters most. Daniel Mosteller, your championship winner. As he goes to do another set of burnouts, if his engine isn't done, no smoke. So the engine has blown up on the 87, but he burned it down, and with a rightful race victory, the 87, if our math is correct, should be the Season 2 IORA champion. And with the 20 of Joseph M. Armstrong not being in a VC, we have no other person to interview other than the championship winner himself, Daniel Mosteller. Second place on the track, but first in the standings. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good.
Led 84 laps of this race. Absolutely dominant race performance for everybody out on the track. You were going to lead almost all the laps in this race if it wasn't for Joe, who had a strong second portion of the race to get back out in front of you. What was it like strategy-wise?
It was just about saving tires the best you could. Joe's pretty good at saving them, so I knew it was going to be a tough task to hold him off. So really, it sucks to lose the race. You know, it's the second season in a row at this track I've lost it after dominating. But thankfully this time around, I could leave with some sort of smile on my face. Yeah, champion, 2-time champion for the Cup Series. It's a fun battle. I know. It was.
So I
No,
gotta
I've missed.
I gotta clear up a rumor. Is it true that you are retiring after winning the second championship of your career?
Yes, that is true from full time. I have asked if I could take the role of an off-track admin. So, yeah, guess we're ending off on a high.
All right, appreciate that.
So,
When are we getting that 1K live stream?
I hate you so much. If I can get everything working, tomorrow, maybe. I don't know.
Congrats on 1K, by the way.
Thank you.
If you want,
Everyone watching, hope we put on a show. It was close at the end, but I was thinking bigger picture. I knew what I needed to do coming in. I've experienced both leading the points coming into the final race and coming in second, close behind. I kind of enjoyed being second, not really knowing what I needed to do to win it. But yeah, fun racing with May, Thurston, everyone in the league. Thanks to Alex for putting it on. How it was me, myself, Garrett, and him. We all started this a little over a year ago, and it's fun to see how it's grown. And I hope to see some good things with the league in the future.
Yeah, for sure. We got the Quantum Esports sponsorship next season with a cash prize. Can't wait to get that rolling.
Yeah, that's going to be really exciting. I see a lot more competitive racing, a lot more people showing up with that. Yeah, it's definitely going to be fun to see. If I'm taking that off-track admin position, it's definitely going to be fun watching, and it's going to be fun seeing all the great racing.
Thank you.
So we send our championship hopes and our championship congratulations to the 87 of Daniel Mosteller, the winner of the Season 2 IORA Championships. And as the top 3 is not in VC, that concludes our interviews for the time being.
all right.
So we appreciate all of you for tuning in to the IORA season finale. As before we end, we have a few commercials to show, a few promos.
Actually, hold on.
So if you'll
Shout out the 87 series, cause oh wait, I forgot I'm muted. Well, unmuted. We're doing the 87 series next season. Same with the Truck Series. So the Truck Series will be taking over the role of the Cup Series, and the 87s will be taking over the role of the Indycar Series. So make sure to tune in next season for season 3 of IORA Cup, which is going to be ran with trucks, and then the Classic Series running the 87s. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, the cash prize for next season, $200 for the Truck Series, $100 for the champion of the 87 series. So can't wait. We've got the playoff system. It's definitely going to be exciting.
Alrighty, well.
Yeah, right, you are. And as we come to round out the stream, we appreciate all of you who have tuned in to watch, as that was a magnificent finale here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. The Demos coming out to win the championship, the 87 machine. It led 84 laps of this race, completely dominant. Lost the win out to Joe, but won in the bigger picture. We send our congratulations to the 87 team, who they worked hard all season long to come out and win the championship by a point. So, after ending on that high, I'd like to thank all of you guys for tuning in with us to watch this stream. If you'd like to tune in to find out more, this Sunday, for sure, is the Rush Truck League once again. So be sure to stick around for this Sunday. We'll be showing you the OSRL Short Track Showdown soon this week. So we have a few broadcaster mix-arounds. We will see you all in the next stream. We appreciate all of you for watching this stream. And what a way to end the IORA Cup Series. We'll be back again with the trucks soon, and we will let all of you know when that happens. But as of right now, we bid you farewell from the Homestead-Miami Speedway, from the IORA Cup Series. We bid you good night. This segment is brought to you by the FTN Broadcasting Association and Network. With all intents and purposes, this broadcast couldn't be here without viewers like you. Your most common presenters are Alexander Valderas and David Kreutz, the TV production being handled by Andrew Schulte. For the foreseeable future, the broadcast that you can be sure not to miss on the Thursdays being the OSRL Short Track Showdown, and be sure not to miss out on next week because that's the IORA season finale. Then on Saturdays, we have the IORA Indycar Series with Chase Schaffer coming off of a win. Could he pull the double next weekend? And finally, with a new presentation on Sundays, the Rush Truck League. The times for the broadcast previously mentioned will be on your screen now. Be sure to stick around for those further this week. Thus, this segment is concluded and we will return to your regular programming.